As we just went live here, youtube.com/beefvegan, or on our Facebook page, or on Twitch if you're a Twitcher. With that said, film critic Herb Stratford's joining us. Good morning, Herb. Welcome.
Good morning.
All right, now we have a lot to get to, including 2 major releases, and if they are worth the hype and if they live up to the hype. So we're going to be talking about The Smashing Machine and the Daniel Day-Lewis project. The name of that one again was
Anemone.
Yes. Oh. So we're going to get into all that plus so much more in this next 90 minutes. But with that said, we have just enough time. We're going to squeeze in some more confessions here. It's time for another confession session. Mari has access to Weirdo's email address. This is where listeners send anonymous confessions. They let it off their chest. Sometimes we give them unsolicited advice. Since we have a man of many years of wisdom, generations upon generations, this will be a great opportunity.
This is the first time he's used my age in a positive way.
I know. That was actually
turning over a new leaf. I like it.
I mean, I was attempting to be negative. I just failed. All right. So, what's the first anonymous confession that we have here, Mari?
This is bad. I once faked sleepwalking so I could pee in my roommate's laundry basket without him questioning me. He thought he was cursed by a pee ghost for 2 months.
A pee ghost. So you had a dumb roommate as well on top of that. All right.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just hate roommates. Have you ever been in a living situation where you just hated the person that you live with and not family?
No.
Yeah, you're lucky. Because I went through many years of having roommates, and sometimes I had some really bad ones. I had one, a former roommate of mine who's been in prison past 10 years, just recently sent me a friend request. I'm still in prison. It says, getting out soon. And I'm like, delete. Hell no. Like, we were friends before you went into prison. I am not your redemption arc. Get out of here, dude. So, yeah. And Urine was involved in that situation as well. So
really?
It's relatable. Okay. My story, which I said on the air before, I'll say one last time. I hated this guy so much, and he would always he was selfish, right? So he is do as I say, not as I do type deal. Always steal my stuff, but I never lend me anything, right? So any of the food in the refrigerator, he would immediately just eat and be like, "What?" Right? It's my place, and I was, his mom owned the place, and I rented it from there, right? So he was a jerk. So I got apple juice, drank some of the apple juice. Filled it back up with,
Why?
And then I put a note on the apple juice saying, my apple juice, do not drink. Right? Specific.
Oh.
Yeah, I said, do not drink. And then I came home the next day, half the apple juice is gone. And I'm like,
you did that.
I tried to tell you. Hey,
Righty.
but I put a note on it saying, don't do it. Right? It would be different if I did it and said, drink up, man. It's for you, bud. But no, if he would have followed the instructions on the note, I would not be inside him.
Oh. Well, you're out by now, though.
No, my DNA is part of his DNA now.
Okay.
Prison rule state. That's my bitch for life.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. All right. What's the next
Gross.
anonymous email?
Okay, once during a blackout, I convinced my neighbors that I could taste electricity and made them pay me $5 to stand near their outlets.
Oh, Jesus. All right,
Again, some dumb neighbors.
Yeah, dumb neighbors. And good for you on making money, I guess. Does that make you a bad person? I don't know. Kind of an entrepreneur.
I think so, too.
Yeah, or an X-Men. All right, what else you got?
Every time my friend brags about his car, I sneak out at night and move his seat and mirrors. He thinks he has early stage dementia.
That's just nice. That's
a good prank.
That's a fantastic prank. I mean, it's going to drive him insane, and the blood's on your hands, but fantastic prank. All right, we got time for one more confession here, Mari.
Whenever I use a public bathroom, I leave one shoe print on the toilet seat. Not both, just one. So the next person wonders, what the hell happened?
That's pretty devious. I mean, you never see the reaction, so it's just creating chaos for the sake of creating chaos. Do you like this one, Herb?
I do. I think it's creative,
It's clever.
Yeah.
One shoe, not two.
And it's harmless in a way.
Yeah.
Unless you really got to go number 2 and you're a germaphobe and you're like, oh, no, there's a footprint on the seat. What do I do? Yeah. So,
get toilet paper.
All right. Well, we got some pretty creative and strange listeners, but thank you for those anonymous
Yes,
emails.
thank you.
Keep them coming. Subject line confession session. Let's keep the conversation moving on to podcast broadcast. Herb Stratford's in studio. We're going to be talking about The Smashing Machine with The Rock. Does he transform into Mark Kerr? Is it the movie of the year? Will he finally get awards? We'll find out next. The Beef Vegan Presents. Stick around. Yeah, that was my super tease. And yeah, don't say any of it yet because I look forward to it. Did you watch it?
I did. I saw it yesterday.
Okay, saw it at the Loft. Or no, I'm sorry,
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Saw that and Anemone, Daniel Day-Lewis
He's
movie.
back.
So it was a long day. You went back to back. You did double.
I
Now,
did.
when you watch these movies at the Roadhouse, is it a private screening in the little room?
It's actually, they said at the beginning, they were like, oh, we'll just put you in the new little rooms. And they never have. I'm always in one of the big rooms all by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's but
It's
yeah,
cool.
that's sneak preview. Yeah.
And then they start the movie. They don't make me watch all the other extra stuff. And then, I'll run to the bathroom in between. But yeah, I was sitting there for 4 hours yesterday. So.
You eat?
No, I get there at 8 in the morning. So they're not even like open.
Oh, they don't even have, yeah.
No, nothing.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Gelato?
get there at 8. By the time you're watching your second movie, they're starting to rock and roll. So you get a little breakfast. They serve breakfast there at Roadhouse.
I should have asked for it. But
Get a breakfast burrito, Herb.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have. You're the official movie critic of all the Roadhouses.
That's
There's
true.
multiple locations.
That's
They should
true.
at least give you a little bit of a bar tab.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
going to lobby for that.
Yeah, man. Come on. Do I have to be your agent?
You do. You do.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, you know what? In what bizarro world where I look like the representative, I come in and say, "Here's the deal," because you look like the agent. You're
Yeah,
dressed
it's
like
true.
the agent,
It's
but I'm
true.
coming in. I drive a hard bargain, and I'm all for it, dude.
Hey, I'm here Friday. There's supposed to be donuts. Well, I just got a text that there's not going to be donuts here until after I leave. So I'm
Why
a
is
little
that?
distressed. I don't know. Debbie's not coming in until 10:30, I guess.
Oh, how did you get that text?
Rob texted me. So
Oh, Rob. Got it.
Oh yeah, she
Rob-
said.
Rob's got my back.
Okay,
So,
I did
yeah.
I received that
Oh, you
email.
did?
Happy Friday, everyone. Bagels and donuts are coming, but not until 10:30 or so. She's doctor's appointment this morning.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she's doing fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Routine because she hasn't been in a lot. This week, in the past couple weeks. So maybe there's stress and stuff. We laid off a bunch of people. And everything
Well,
else.
and you remember the former GM of this station? He
Yes.
had like a mental breakdown. So
I know.
radio's tough, man.
Yeah, radio stuff. I know. There was a while there where the inmates were running the asylum, and honestly, I was like, there was no accountability in this building because there was no boss, and I'm just like, and it was frustrating, wildly frustrating because I'm like, well, nobody's doing shit, and nobody they can do whatever they want. I'm still busting my ass and waking up early. This seems unfair, right? You know what I mean? And then Mac was too. Mac was still working super hard. But yeah, there was no bosses and no one doing anything. And, salespeople weren't showing up and nobody cared.
Wow.
Yeah. And that happened. That seemed to happen for like the longest time. And I was so happy when we finally got a GM. But it was almost like a year that we did not have a boss with zero accountability in the building. And obviously, things slipped from there. Now we're slowly starting to rebuild and get back on track. But like, man, I almost wanted to step in and be like, I'm the boss now. It's one of those kind of like squatter rights, right? The GM's office was open and available for a long time. If I just would have sat in there long enough, I could have just said, I'm the GM now.
Wow.
Yeah. And then just start like,
I am the captain.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was
I'm the
thinking.
captain.
Oh, that's exactly what I thought about.
It's always got to be a movie reference with me.
Always.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's a good line, though.
Yeah, I know. It is a classic line. But yeah, we'll see what happens this time now. But
And that was Captain Phillips, for those of you who don't remember.
they remember.
Okay, just making sure.
It was such a racist impersonation. How could they not? I'm just reading comments here on there. I went to Nightfall last night. That was fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did
So
you ever go with your kiddo?
No,
Was young?
they did,
he's a terrible dad.
No, he's the best dad.
No, he was watching
you, Mari.
movies when his son's
Uh,
growing up.
No, I'm sharing my movies with my son. He gets to see stuff ahead of time.
that's true.
I don't think we might have gone once, but he was not really into the big scary thing. So yeah, not all kids want to be scared.
No.
No, it's true. There's here. Can I tell you a funny story about Nightfall last night? So it was media night, right? And
Mhm.
so there's basically everyone there was in media. Or majority of people were. It was opening night, and we got RIP passes, which is like VIP.
did?
Yeah, and I'm there with all my radio friends. I see I see Crystal, and then Yaz was showing up, and she's friends with Crystal and as well, and so she was on their list. And so we're sitting there, and we all have our special laminates that say we're RIPs. And she gets in, and she gets GA. and she's aghast.
Oh,
Yes, and she comes up to us. And she's like, "Oh, you guys got all VIP? Oh, why am I GA?" And she is mad, dude. And she's like ripping into us. And I'm looking, I'm like, yes, nobody's here. Like VIP gives us literally nothing. If we had a VIP on a busy night, means we can cut in line, right?
Yeah.
There's no line. So if you want to cut in front of me, I'll allow it. You know what I mean? If that's going to make you feel RIP enough.
Yeah.
She was so mad that she wasn't VIP in a town where everyone was VIP.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, actually, in this situation, you're the only one that needs to wait outside. Yes. We're all VIP. We'll let you know how it goes, and you can see the second show.
I mean, it is a cool lanyard, though.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's my lanyard, and she can't have it. All right, so I'll play that back. It was pretty funny, and the girls were like, "Come on, yeah." She's so like offended. She was offended, and I'm like, there is literally no benefit to having a VIP with the exception of the lanyard, which you could have if you want.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's RIP, though. That's what's so cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're playing on a VIP. Very clever. And I was like, oh, how'd they think of that? Well, it's right there. But I will get it again though. So that's why I'll give you mine, because the next time I go,
oh, you get another one.
Oh yeah, I'll get it connected. And when it's actually busy, then I'll actually be RIP. And then I'll actually be able to be like, you guys have to stand in line. Sucks to be you. Fast pass, bitches. Yeah, so I can't wait for that. You know, it's the little things. When you're broke, but you feel special, it helps out. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to talk about Smashing Machine after I play A Death Piece of Mind by Bad Omens. And I'm going to play back this little clip of Yeah's Money. So we get that first thing going in here. In fact, actually, let's do this. Speaking of Yaz, I have a little bit. There's a tons of videos I didn't get to yesterday because we had Todd McFarlane on.
Nice.
Yes. And he talked the entire hour.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is fantastic. But a bummer for Chrissy from Tucson Doobie, because I had her booked to be on for the podcast broadcast. She sat in the green room the entire hour, and I think she's still mad at me. And it was not necessarily my fault, because when Todd McFarlane started speaking, I just could not stop, you know, and he's a billionaire, right? Let the billionaire speak. We have lots of great clips. It was great conversation. He told me about where we're at with the new Spawn. He talked about the origin of Venom.
Nice.
Also kind of like being the one who was adamant about getting Spider-Man back to the original red and blue colors. It's because of Todd McFarlane. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't even know about. And he was so kind. And everyone on the stream, they were complimentary. They were writing it out. Some people were saying it was the podcast of the year. They really were fascinated by the conversation that we had. And so I was completely just stuck in that conversation. And he's also kind of a talker where he doesn't leave the wind for me to be able to get in, to maybe even reset the table sometimes, or even say, okay, thank you. And I gave him several outs because I thought I was going to have him for 10 minutes. And I was being polite, being like, your time is worth money. I get it. And he's like, no, it's not. I'm practically retired, right? I still work, but on Todd McFarlane time.
Yeah.
So we talked the entire hour. And then again, I said bye to him at the end. If you watch the last 10 minutes of that podcast yesterday, it's me trying to be like, thank you. Gotta go. Cause I was done for the day. You know what I mean? I had other things to do. I love the conversation, and I'm going to be loving going through the clips. But then right afterwards, I checked my phone and I got a bunch of text messages from Chrissy. I'm sitting out here and I'm getting text messages from Justin Spears. I couldn't even check my phone during that. I was that much involved in that. And I call her 10:01 and she's pulling out of the station and she's mad. You know, and I'm like, and I couldn't have been more apologetic. I don't think she's not a Todd McFarlane fan, so I don't even think she understood the significance of the situation. You know, she's just like, hey, I have valuable time too, and came out of my way to come do this. And I gave her the green light, come in tomorrow and, you know, join us and we'll have a lot of fun and we'll talk movies and we'll talk doobies. It go hand in hand. You know, stoners love movies.
But she said no.
Well, she said, I'll get back to you. She hasn't, and she's not here. So
I mean, I'll tell you, I would wait about 20 minutes. So the fact that she waited an hour is, that's something.
I know. I know. She's like, I'll even give you the last 5 minutes. Just get me on it all and we're all good. And I'm like, oh, God, I couldn't. It's unfortunate. And I feel really bad about it. But, it is what it is. And I'll try to make up for it the best I can. But, Chrissy, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, I'm sorry. Sometimes you inadvertently, upset the people that you love the most. You know what I mean? And Chrissy, she is like fantastic. She's always super fun and super nice. So I'm bummed about that. We were trying to get Dan Soder in today too.
Oh,
yeah, but his schedule's so wonky and he's so nice that he didn't want to have to confirm and then cancel. Yeah, so he's like, I'm not 100% sure that I could make it. I might possibly be able to make it, but I don't want to give you a yes on a maybe. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, I respect that. And then his handlers are like, well, would you like tickets? And I'm like, oh, yeah. I want tickets. So they're like, this is what you're really asking for. I'm like, no, I want the ratings too. Okay.
I need the book.
Yeah. Not. I mean, it's selfish, but not on one level. On many different levels, it's selfish. I want him to come in, turn on the funny, Mr. Funny Man. So I sit back, take a mental day off, let him be funny, get a bunch of new ears on the show, then catch the free show later on. So if you guys aren't doing anything tonight, make sure that you go to the Rialto Theater. Those tickets are still available, so it's not sold out yet. But we definitely need to pack out the Rialto for Mr. Dan Soder. It's going to be super funny. He's one of the best comedians in the game. Straight up. You have to Google him right now?
I got to Google him. I'm like, I don't know. Dan.
He worked at KFMA.
I know. Oh.
He's Scary Dan.
Scary Dan.
He's a weekender. All right, let's get on here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beefeager Presents. We're hanging out here with film critic Herb Stratford, and it's a big weekend for movies because now we're in the season where the movies that are being released are so good, they're in contention for awards, and that's why they're being released right now. And so we have two major ones with some big names attached to them. First and foremost, let's talk about a movie that we've been following since its inception, and they announced that this was going to be in production. I'm talking about The Smashing Machine. Now, this is a movie that obviously checks all the boxes for me. I grew up, watching the first 10 UFCs, right? So I was a UFC day oneer, right? Mark Kerr was always a guy that kind of jumped off the screen because he looked like a professional wrestler. He was jacked to the gills and, super tough. And then you fast forward, The Rock, who was one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, was announced to be playing him in a movie, which was fascinating. Then they showed pictures of his transformation and how he actually really looks like Mark Kerr. But along the way, there was a bunch of controversy saying they had to do reshoots. It was testing really badly. Benny, what's his name?
Safdie.
Benny Safdie,
director,
who's a director of The Smashing Machine, A24 pick, but also usually does movies with his brother Joel, is now directing solo for the very first time and taking on a lot of responsibility. So it could go either way. It could be one of the best movies we've ever seen when it comes to biopics, or it could be one of the biggest, most confusing turds of all time. Herb Stratford watched this yesterday.
Yeah, I will tell you. It was a good preamble there.
Yeah, thank
you. So it is not the turd of all time.
Okay. Biggest turd there, Maury.
Is it the greatest sports movie ever? No. But what I like about it is, and we pick on The Rock here from the safety of the broom closet.
Yes, absolutely. Never to his face.
As not our favorite wrestler turned movie star. That goes to John Cena. But but really, I think what The Rock wanted to do, and I think what he does with this film is he reminds us that he's got some talent, and he's not just Jungle Cruise and all the other garbage like Rampage and all this stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
He actually, when he's got a passion project like this one was, he's able to deliver. Now, having said that, what he gets handed in the Mark Kerr story is a pretty darn dark story.
Yes.
Right? I mean, there is some there is abuse, there is drug use, there's a lot of dark. This is not Rocky Balboa, Adrian, this is a dark story. And the fact that Mark Kerr wanted this story to tell, to his real story, warts and all, to be told, is a testament to him saying, look, this is my life. I don't want you to sanitize it. And so for that perspective, it's done very well. Benny does a great job of sort of capturing that late 90s vibe. So for people who don't know, 99 to 2000 and like 4 or 5 or 6 or something. So it's a very small period of time. But Benny captures sort of, and also here's the other thing, Mark Kerr was in Phoenix. He was living in Phoenix. Yeah. So it's a very interesting thing that, I don't think they filmed in Phoenix. To be honest
they
with
did not. You can tell it's not Phoenix.
It doesn't look like Phoenix. But, it has that vibe, the house, all the. And Emily Blunt is very good as his troubled girlfriend, Dawn. She at first I was like, she's just going to be there just to be sort of an accessory. She's got her own story. And the other thing I thought was really interesting was that it's really not just the two of them. It's also Mark Coleman, the other sort of wrestler character, who is his, at one point, coach, sort of agent manager guy. But also a rival combatant. And that guy does a fantastic job. I will tell you, one of the things that really sort of cracked me up is when there's different times when you see the faces of the different wrestlers and or fighters. And because a lot of these fights taking place in Japan, so it's not just Americans, it's Japanese fighters and Russian fighters, things like that. They all have the cauliflower ear. It's just all mashed up. And it's just so funny because once you see one, you're like, I bet they all have it. And they all have it.
Oh yeah.
Every single one of them has a messed up ear or two.
Yeah.
So it's only at 73% on Rotten Tomatoes this morning. I think it's going to go a little higher. I will say that, is it going to be in the hunt for Best Picture? Maybe. I still haven't seen some things that are coming out like House of Dynamite, Frankenstein, seeing that on Sunday. There's a lot of things beyond One Battle After Another that we haven't seen yet. So I don't know if it's going to make the cut, but I really am proud of Dwayne Johnson for finding material and for showing that he's got some chops and he's not just a goofball. I honestly love him with hair. As soon as he shaves his head at the end, I'm going to tell you the last like 15, 20 minutes, he has shaved his head and you're like, oh, it's The Rock. But before that, you're like, who's that guy?
He transforms.
Oh my God. And
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. So you kind of get lost in the character. There's a lot of questions I'm going to ask Herb Stratford on the podcast broadcast, but The Smashing Machine is out everywhere today. 76% or so on Rotten Tomatoes. It seems like a pretty good film, but it's going to be a dark film. So you're going to go on that kind of ride. But if you're a fan of early UFC, Mark Kerr and The Rock, it's definitely one to check out, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's keep this conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. YouTube.com/BeefVegan. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Daniel Day-Lewis's project. He's returned after retirement for the 7th time, this time with a movie with his son. So that we'll talk about right after these words. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. Yeah, clear your throat, man.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all right. It happens to the best. I'm the best. It happens to me.
Is he wearing a nose, though?
He's wearing all prosthetics.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at him, and that was what was such a trip with the movie at first, was you're like, wow, man, actually, it looks like Mark Kerr in a way and doesn't look like The Rock. And Rock is such a recognizable face, obviously. And you would think that his ego would be like, keep this beauty, but.
You think he's egotistical?
I mean, I think it's unavoidable once you get to that level.
He seems like a nice guy, though.
He does. He is a nice guy.
Is he John Cena nice, though?
I don't think he's John Cena nice. I think he's gotten a little. I mean, the stories that are coming out of set, not necessarily on this film, but other films, he's very diva-like.
Really?
But I mean, to Beef's point, when you get catered to that way, it's hard not to do it.
Exactly. Right.
The expectation gets set.
Yes.
Yeah. If anything, they might be disappointed that he doesn't act like that.
But I will say what's interesting about the real Mark Kerr, and you see the real Mark Kerr sort of at the end.
I thought he was dead, and now I see him doing pressers. I know.
Oh, he's alive.
And when you see him, you're like, oh, I'm glad I don't see the two of those guys next to each other, because honestly, The Rock is a bigger boy.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
well, with a height and stature. But you know what's interesting is that Benny said during the process, they're about to make it, and he called up The Rock and he's like, hey, I hate to ask you this, and this is weird, but can you puff up a little bit? You gotta because Mark's body was different in the way that it was framed, and obviously The Rock is shredded, right? But he shredded in a way that's so scientifically engineered. And at the time when Mark Kerr, he was so steroid puffy, right? So, it was a different body frame. Still buff, still jacked, still looked like a pro wrestler. And then The Rock and his team, they know exactly how the human body works. And so, yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll just concentrate on these muscles and puff up. So, like, his transformation was not just prosthetics in his face. It was his body that really, if you put side by sides, and not if you're not counting the height, you're like, oh, wow, Jesus, that is a Mark Kerr like. Now, the concern I have for a Benji film is that sometimes the Safdie brothers, sometimes you get lost in it, right? Where it's so ADD-ish and chaos and anxiety driven. We're like, you're flying the wall, but it's a very shitty wall. And it's like, and you kind of feel that way where it doesn't necessarily, something like Good Times. I like Good Times, right? But you really have to concentrate to follow along the story.
And Uncut Gems too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Right. And so, is it still kind of a way that, you kind of get lost in that as well?
No, and I wonder if that's because it's just one of them.
Scoot over for Rico. I didn't know. Scoot over this way.
Pleasant surprise.
Yeah, that is a surprise.
What the what?
Yeah, what are you doing here on this? You know that Dan Soder's not coming in today, right?
No, I want to get my $20 you owe me.
Yeah, there's no $20. I did tell him that Soder's not coming in.
I'm here for a meeting.
Oh, okay.
Hey, hanging, bro.
Buddy?
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
No, I do feel like maybe the two brothers, like that's a little more chaotic when they make a movie. You know what I mean? And so Benny by himself, I think he's, to your point, I think he's a little more focused, and the story is pretty squarely on, the Mark Kerr character. But like I said, the relationship between him and the other Mark is just really just as powerful as the one between him and his girlfriend Dawn. I mean, it's like there's really the three of them are this movie. So
you're saying Joel's the fucking spastic
maybe
one? Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm wondering.
Is there any kind of behind the scenes, and maybe you could help me out with this, Rico, any like behind the scenes rumbling that there was a falling out of sorts or creative differences between the two brothers? Because when you have this like brother tandem director team, right? Mm. It's very odd to see, one kind of go off on his own in a way, because obviously they kind of grew up and learned that craft together. This what the Wachowskis, the
Coen brothers. It's
the
like
Coen brothers,
Joel or Ethan do their own movie, and you're like, it's not that good when they're not together.
It's not the same. Yeah,
right.
I mean, I will say that maybe this is demonstrating that that he could do his own movie, right?
Okay.
Because but granted, an amazing story, a great cast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all the ducks are lined up. So, because before, these guys, they cut their teeth on sort of weird indie movies that didn't have anybody you knew, right? Until Uncut Gems and some other things. So,
Now they got a who's who. And it's, honestly, The Rock does the casting too. As soon as you're like, Rock, you're in this movie, he's like, cool. So's my girl, Emily Blunt. Like,
That's
okay,
right.
yeah.
Well, I'm actually
They got good
surprised.
chemistry.
Yeah, and I actually was surprised she took the role, because she's messed up in this movie. Like, it's a dark, dark story, and she's a lot of the darkness.
Well, yeah, but that's probably what intrigued her in the part, right?
Yeah.
If you're an actress, you want to play characters of that kind of depth,
Yeah.
and
But she's sort of trashy, and you know what I mean? She's definitely not the Devil Wears Prada 2 character. You know what I mean?
I honestly, it makes me aroused thinking about a trashy Emily Blunt. I mean, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're
Wait
like,
till you see some of her outfits.
I
Yeah.
just want to know what role Kevin Hart played in this movie.
yeah, no, I know.
Was there no Kevin Hart?
Yeah, no Kevin Hart.
Oh, what a bummer.
I know.
Yeah.
Good morning, Adam. Good morning, everybody on there. So did the Yankees win last night?
Of course they did.
Okay.
I got that rookie pitcher, went 8 innings.
Nice.
Dominated.
So, but you missed Nightfall. And I was thinking, this is probably the only night that you would have been able to go to Nightfall, because you're going to be booked up the rest of the weekends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that was good times.
Hey, man, my Chicago Cubbies are in the hunt, man.
Oh, well, you know what? It's no longer a
thanks
curse.
to the
They've
ump.
already won, and they've won more recently than like the Diamondbacks and stuff. So I'm over it. But good, good for you. Good for you, Cubby fans.
I'm a Chicago boy. I can't help it.
I get it.
Do your best Harry Carey impression right now.
Yeah. Do you have one?
Take me out in the ball game.
Solid. He's solid.
Solid.
Yeah, he's a Chicago
10 out of
fan. He passed the test. So, all right. So the Smashing Machine is definitely worth checking out. So
It is. Yeah. I mean, I think, like I said, he's demonstrated he doesn't have to make garbage. So I'm proud of him for doing that, and I hope that. And I honestly, I feel like maybe John Cena pushed him into it. You know what I mean? It's like,
or Batista or any of them.
Yeah.
And well, again, I give this to The Rock. He's always had that competitive spirit. That's what kind of made him so successful in the first place. You want to be the best in that situation. And I know that he's heard the conversations where like, Batista's a better actor than you. John Cena's more successful than you. And he's just like, you know what? Fuck you, man. I'm The Rock, and hey, the competition goes outside of the ring, goes beyond the ring. And so, yeah, I can see that. I'll say this. And the debate with Cena has been going back and forth this past like a week or two, because I'm often like recall the Total Divas and John Cena behind the scenes as a man is kind of really weird in a way. But, as an actor, he's very charismatic and he picks good roles. And I just saw the latest episode of Peacemaker. Did you watch it?
And now I'm 2 behind.
God damn, it's such a good show. It's such a good show. And James Gunn's knocking out of the park with this one. But this season, I like this even more than the first season. And it has so many layers to it. And it's been so great. And the last episode will be next week. I can't wait for it. And I can't wait to actually, and I have to watch it on my phone now because HBO Max kind of cracked down on password sharing. But I can't wait to watch it on my phone again, when I get home today, just to kind of rewatch and take it in. There's a good chemistry between Judo Master and Abadayo, right? Danielle Jones or whatever. They interact with each other in this episode, and after they revealed what Earth X really is, and
don't ruin it. I'm only 5 in. I got 6 and 7 to look at.
You know what, though? No, screw you, Herb Stratford. You watched those 5 episodes 6 months ago and then humble brag.
So the point. You get these episodes like 8 months in advance before all of us.
Right.
But then I don't get the last one, and then I forget what happened by the time I watch them.
Well, you should watch them when they're out for the normies, too. Don't just watch them on VIP schedule,
Look,
So, yeah.
I got to go home and watch the Ed Gein thing. I got a 5-hour Marty Scorsese documentary that I'm interviewing the director for. I got to watch all 5 hours of that.
And my argument to you then is you need a palate cleanser in between all this heavy stuff. 45 minutes of colorful fun. All right. With some Nazis is great.
But I'll tell you, I agree with you 100%. This second season, I mean, we needed the first season to set the table, but this season is so great.
Yeah.
It's just so great.
It is.
I love everybody. I love the character development. I love more eagerly. I mean, I'm all about it.
I'm excited about the DC universe. And we talked with Todd McFarlane yesterday, and that was interesting because, in a way he kind of alluded to him liking what James Gunn is doing and everything, and him trying to get Spawn going. And if it was up to him, Spawn already be running with Jamie Foxx and Jeremy Renner. He just signed an A-list director to the project that he's super excited about. He didn't give me the name of the A-list director. I'm guessing it's Benji Safdie. No. How trippy would that be for Spawn, dude?
Joe Carnahan. That would be my vote.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't even know that name.
Joe Carnahan's done some great stuff. He you'll have to look him up. But he did like the one where Liam Neeson crashed in the Arctic wilderness and he had to fight the Gray.
Oh yeah, the Gray was
so
great.
Good. He's just a great action director. Works a lot with what's his name, Lockjaw or not Lockjaw, from Marvel. Anyway, whatever. Go ahead.
All right. Well, actually, let me pull this up since because you're going tomorrow or Sunday? Sunday. So Herb's going to LA on Sunday to check out this Guillermo del Toro movie, Frankenstein. Let's watch this trailer so we can react to this because I want to see how good it may be and get a better idea of Frankenstein. So you haven't seen it yet, right?
Nope.
So you're going to see it on the red carpet premiere?
I think it's just a critic screening at Netflix, which of course they, take a DNA sample when you walk onto the lot. It's like really intense.
Is De Niro playing Frankenstein again?
No, Jacob Elordi is Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, that's
you
good
guys
cast.
standing ovation.
You're gonna want the headphones if you want to hear it. So here, I'll play it with the audio. Oh, is that not working?
I didn't plug
It's not plugged in.
Oh, okay.
And Mia Goth is also in it.
Really?
And
God, I love me some Mia Goth,
You
dude.
do love her.
Yeah, well, from X, and she's
whew.
Yeah, without sounding curt. All right, so check.
My maker told his tale, and I'm telling you mine.
He's won Academy Awards. It's a big deal.
Ooh, Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, dude. Eyeball in the hand. It's awesome.
pieces.
He's got a fetish for thighs.
Different men.
Frozen horses.
And I saw it. Your name. Victor Frankenstein.
Well, who's Lordy in this?
Frankenstein.
He's the monster.
How could you make a man so pretty turn
I
into
know.
a monster, dude?
I agree with that.
My creator. I demand a single grace from you.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
If you're not to award me love, then I will indulge in rage. Now, run.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Oh, they're keeping his like sneaky, sneaky.
Yeah.
I was hoping when he put the mask down, he was like, "It's Frankenstein, not Stein."
Is it Steen?
According to
No,
Mel
it's,
Brooks.
yeah. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We just reacted to the trailer for Frankenstein, which is going to be dropping on Netflix soon. But Herb Stratford's actually going to go for a critic screening here on Sunday out in LA, courtesy of Netflix. Big deal for Herb Stratford.
Yes.
That trailer
Yeah.
is intriguing. I mean, I immediately thought to myself, shut up and take my mom's money because I'm sharing her
Yeah,
Netflix
this is
account.
Netflix. Do you think this like kind of like tells you that like Netflix is going to go pretty big for their future stuff?
Well, they continue to, right?
Yeah, I mean, every fall they have a couple things that they're all in on. So, like, Roma or, different things in the past have been their big hits. Maestro, of course, 2 years ago with Bradley Cooper. So what's interesting is, to work with people like Del Toro and some of those folks, Bradley Cooper, they end up having to do a little bit of a limited release, right? Because it has to be awards eligible. So it'll play in New York and LA maybe for a week, and then it streams on Netflix. So, but this is obviously a big budget thing. I mean,
Yes.
it's not as, I just saw an interesting number this morning. Apparently that last Indiana Jones movie, they spent $419 million on it.
Whew, stupid investment.
And
dude.
it made $384
Of course
million.
it did, dude.
So,
I mean, the fact
Yeah.
that that's how out of touch some executives are, right? Oh,
Yeah.
we'll back up the money truck for this one. We're like, and who's starring in it? Oh, the original star. He's still alive? All right,
he's
I
80
guess.
He's 84, yeah.
Yeah.
So no, this is one of their big bids. I don't know, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. They usually have like 2 or 3 movies that they're sort of pushing all the chips into the middle of the table on.
Oh.
This one clearly, you can see how much money was in the budget. You can see that cast. This is their bid, at least for some nominations for all those folks. And we'll see how it goes.
Well, the trailer looks phenomenal. So, and Jacob
Jacob
Elordi, it doesn't look, smoking hot, but that actually is just a way to flex as an actor.
Well, he's a
when
tall
you're
guy,
good looking.
too.
Yeah,
He's a really tall guy.
He looked massive in there.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
massive.
pulling a Charlize Theron.
Yes, exactly. That's how you get the award. So
Oh.
when you're pretty, you turn ugly, and
That's
you're just
right.
like, oh my God, it's so believable. Here you go. Now take the makeup off.
You look like a normie.
Right. So we're going to play Red Hot Chili Peppers, but we'll keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast where we'll talk about the movie Good Boy. And when we return, Daniel Day-Lewis and his son have teamed up in a brand new movie. And you pronounce this what?
Anemone.
Anemone.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, but we're going to talk about it right after Red Hot Chili Peppers Scar Tissue. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Anemone.
Do you want to
That's
hear
right.
my pre-story with sea anemone?
Yes.
Yeah, what's your priest?
Well, this is like a guy from my high school, right? He
Okay.
called me a narcoleptic because I slept in his class so much.
Okay.
But then he was doing sex ed, right? And he was like, gonorrhea. It looks like a sea anemone. So that's how I learned how to say anemone. And I will always say it correctly because my
Because you're like,
father-
wait a second, I have a sea anemone in my vagina?
I can remember it clear as day. Thank you, Father.
Wow.
Thank you, Father. Was he an actual priest?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
You went to a Catholic school?
I did for high school.
Oh. Did you wear the skirt and everything?
No. It was just
Oh.
like collared shirts and khakis.
Oh, yeah. Not as fun, huh?
Nah.
Yeah. Did that make you anti-religious growing up then?
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's what happens. Eventually,
Theology.
they'll figure it out.
Yep.
Anemone.
Gonorrhea.
I have not abandoned my son.
Yeah.
I did his movie.
You get it from the devil's semen. All right.
I drink your milkshake.
The blood better be in that movie.
Wait, what is that?
That's from
Daniel
There Will Be
Day-Lewis.
Blood.
He says I'll drink your milkshake?
Yeah, you never saw There Will Be Blood?
No, I saw it, but
Oh,
I do
okay.
not remember any
That's
talk
like the
of
biggest
milkshake.
line.
It's like,
That's
is it with
I
the gap?
drink your milkshake.
Yep.
Every guy was quoting that movie.
Yep.
Where
This
were
is
you?
news to
Even the
me.
priest.
Even the priest.
I don't recall that. But,
You don't recall that either, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm the type of guy. I'm not a quoter. I'm always jealous of my friends that are quoters of movies and everything.
You were doing a lot of other things.
I rewatch stuff like crazy just because I don't remember every line. So it's always new to me. What's this good boy? It's just a story about a dog. An adorable dog.
It's really sweet. And I'm going to tell you that one of the greatest disappointments that I've had recently was I didn't make the cut to do the junket with the dog. I wanted to interview the dog, and it didn't work out. So anyway, this is the first time we've seen a horror movie from the perspective of a dog.
What?
Okay, yeah. And let me just preface this by saying the dog does not die. This is not a
Yes.
Disney movie, so
That's
don't
good.
worry about the dog dying.
Thank you.
Not a
But
Disney movie.
this is well, think about it. Old
Yep,
Yeller and
yep.
Bambi.
Bambi?
Yeah.
So Simba's dad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically it's the story of this guy, and he's sort of going through a rough time, and he goes to the family's sort of cabin, and he's trying to sort of figure out what's going on, and his sister's worried about him because he seems like he's not in a great place. He's got his dog with him, this adorable dog named, in real life, the dog's name is Indy. Speak of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And he basically, we've never seen this before, where we've never seen, like we all have animals and they like look at stuff and you're like, what are you looking at? Like, is there a ghost in the room or something? Well,
Mhm.
somebody decided we'll make a movie like that. So the dog is seeing things that the human is not seeing. And it's really well done. And it's a really cool perspective. And it's not a slasher film. It's not a jump scare film. It's a little more like sort of spooky, and you don't know what's going on. And what is the dog tuned into? So I really liked it. It's 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
It's pretty good for a horror movie from a first-time director with a dog as the star.
No
It's
kidding.
smart for the
So-
director because everybody loves dogs, man.
Yeah, I know.
So,
It's very
yeah,
smart.
That's
But
a
Superman's
layup.
doing
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys hated on the dog, and the
I
dog
did.
added to it, didn't it?
I mean, I wouldn't say crypto added to Superman, Mari, but I would
I
say
loved Crypto.
I
thought was gonna
loved
hate him.
Crypto. Even though he was digital, I loved Crypto.
he was digital. Ah!
He's kidding. He's kidding.
Okay, Jesus, man. I thought they trained that dog to fly, man. I was like, oh, God, I love
Can you
that.
imagine?
Oh, man.
Oh,
they're
that'd be so
furious.
cute.
Yeah. All right, we're back here on Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's a podcast broadcast. There's another movie that's coming to theaters that is released today, actually. Stars one of the biggest Hollywood actors of all time who retired, but it took his son to get behind the director's chair, if you will, or get into the director's chair to convince him to come back to the craft that he loves and knows so well. I'm talking about Daniel Day-Lewis. His son's name is what, Sean?
Ronan.
Ronan, yeah,
Ooh.
so close.
It's a badass name.
Yeah.
It's a traditional Irish name, that's for sure.
All right. And the name of this movie is
Anemone.
Anemone. All right, tell me about Anemone. Am I messing it up?
Yeah, you're
I think
close
you
enough.
got it.
You're in the
Pretty-
ballpark.
You're pretty good. So basically, Ronan, the son, and Daniel Day-Lewis, they co-wrote the script, right? And then Ronan directed it. As you mentioned, this is Daniel Day-Lewis coming out of retirement since, I think, 2017 he retired.
Yeah.
This is the second time he retired. He retired, and then he came back and did The Phantom Thread, and then he retired again. And this is it's a really beautiful. I mean, it's filmed remarkably. There's just some stunning visuals. So as far as the director, the young man has got some chops. It tells the story of two brothers played by Daniel Day-Lewis and Sean Bean. And basically they were both soldiers in the British Army during, as they call it, the Troubles in Northern Ireland, right? The rise of the, IRA and everything else.
Okay.
And Daniel Day-Lewis, I don't want to go too deep and spoil anything, but he's sort of living as a hermit, sort of not really a fugitive, but he's just sort of off in the woods where nobody interacts with him. And he's very solitary. Well, Sean Bean basically comes to see him He's got like coordinates to find him. I mean, it's not even like, here's your address. It's like he's got, geography coordinates. And he is coming to see him. And there's obviously all this bad blood between the brothers. There's all this unresolved sort of things that happened to Daniel Day-Lewis that forced him to go into the woods. And the reason that he's showing up is because there's trouble in the real world, where basically Sean Bean is trying to help him figure, he's like, I need your help. You need to come back and figure this out. There's a problem. I don't want to go into too many details because that spoils it. But there's a lot of interaction between Sean Bean and Daniel Day-Lewis, in this sort of hut in the woods and sort of out in the forest and stuff. And you need to be ready to pay real attention because their accents are severe.
Oh, really? You need subtitles for this?
Oh man, I wish I had subtitles. But I after about 15 minutes, I sort of clued in and I could start to understand them.
Brad Pitt and Snatch bad?
Pretty close.
Oh wow,
pretty close. Yeah. But this is there's sort of a mixed bag on this one. Some people are saying it's not great, but I think it's, for me, it's just reinforced why he's such a great actor. He's just so powerful on screen, and I love seeing him and Sean Bean together in scenes because I love Sean Bean.
Yeah.
And so it's very good in my mind. I don't know if it's going to be in the awards hunt, but of course it's notable because he's back and because it's just so visually striking. So this is something you'd want to see on a big screen because it's just really remarkable.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense that maybe the movie itself is not phenomenal because it's from is Ronan a first-time director? So a first-time director, but has the all-star cast, but there's nepotism involved, right?
Sure.
So you're going to get A+ performances from a loving dad who's going to do his best in that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think it takes a little bit of experience to catapult yourself into that best picture category, right?
Yeah.
And not even Daniel Day-Lewis can save you.
Yeah. That's
I
true.
just think that he was smart enough to cast Sean Bean. He knew people would see it to see if he dies in the movie.
That is very
Sean
true.
Bean always dies in movies.
Always
Every
dies.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how he picks him, right?
Yep.
If he looks at the last page and he's still in it, he's like, I'm out.
Hey man, Game of Thrones. I think there was a thing where he died like 17 times in movies or something. It was just unbelievable.
Like, damn, Sean.
Yeah, you're like Deadpool. Yeah. All right. Well, that the name of that Daniel Day-Lewis movie again is
Anemone.
All right, and you may want to wait until that is on your streaming service so you can get closed captions so you can understand what the hell they're saying to enjoy that movie a little bit more. But that's the other major release this weekend. Thank you, Herb Stratford.
Yeah.
All right, we still have more that we're going to talk about with Herb here on the podcast broadcast. You can join us youtube.com/beefvegan or keep it right here, Rock 1 2.1.
Do you think he's back though?
Clear.
I don't
Sorry.
know.
I like
You're jumping again.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, clear.
I
Right? No, you're good.
I saw it go up and I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
I just love the mystique of Daniel Day-Lewis. Like
Is he back?
Scorsese, well, he's never back.
Yeah.
Because Scorsese had to go to the mountains to find him for gangs in New York. He was a
Yeah.
cobbler in a village.
Wait, he really was?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He's a mysterious.
Oh, it's
dude.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mari, to answer your question, I don't know. I think he would have stayed gone if it wasn't his son. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Although I will say the fact that they collaborated on the script gives me hope that, he still has stories to tell. And so,
You got the bug.
yeah, and maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's more behind the camera telling stories. You know what I mean? As opposed to being, because he is looking older. You think about him in Last of the Mohicans, and a totally different dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
You
of
know?
course. But that was in the 80s, dude. Or early 90s.
Yeah.
With that though, he still looks like he's in good shape.
He does.
He looks older.
Yeah.
I don't know. You think if you're so good at a craft, right? And as Daniel Day-Lewis, a lot of people consider him the greatest of all time, right? And you're behind and you're trying to direct someone acting and they're okay. That's not how to do it, right? Like,
Yeah, it'd be hard.
Yeah, you think he would be able to see someone and act not up to his ability. And that's why he kind of has to be like, just move out of the way. I'll do it. I'll direct myself. I'm Abe Lincoln now. All right. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So I think that would be the only thing. That's the problem of being so good.
That would be funny. His son on set just being like, all right, Dad, you do your thing.
Yeah. Well, that's why Michael Jordan couldn't be a coach.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
right,
It- it's kind of like the same complex there. It's like, if it's not a do as I say, not as I do type of situation.
I'm just waiting on the Daniel Day-Lewis curveball. Like, what if he shows up on the challenge? He just said something completely unexpected.
That'd be great.
AppleTV.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, he's in shape right now. He could do
Yeah.
it. He could actually do it after making this movie. He is lean and mean.
Yeah. Better shape
Oh, snap.
than CT.
Yeah, exactly.
But the challenge is looking pretty good too. I think they're going to go on a 3-week sabbatical for whatever reason. I don't know why, but yeah, the episode that aired on Wednesday was a really good one, and another elimination. Are you caught up?
I am, and I'm sad
Yeah,
because CT got eliminated.
yeah.
so-
CT got eliminated. Yep. Yeah.
No.
It was only a matter of time. He was fat as fuck.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what happened.
He was.
Yeah, and you could say that. I could say that as a guy who's always been that way. And CT was like literally a Calvin Klein model for like the first 20 years, and literally just let himself go from smoking weed and playing video games and not doing anything else.
He got comfortable.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got super comfortable, and then he was like bullied in the house, which is interesting because again, the reason why Herb and I love this show so much is we watch these kids grow up. You know, CT is my age, right? And he started showing up on reality TV at the age of 22, 23. Real World Paris. And, you know, there was a time where he was banned from the show because he was physically beating the shit out of people, like, you know, in an illegal way.
Yeah.
And couldn't control his anger. And
Lionel Richie's kid, right? Wasn't that the kid that he beat up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Adam.
the first one. Yeah,
Adam, who ended
Adam.
up being an intern for Diddy.
What a reputation.
And there might be some correlation between Adam, the kid that CT beat up, and Diddy in this Diddy trial. Like if he was participating, it's very.
This is Nicole Richie's brother.
No, not Nicole Richie's brother. It's not Lionel Richie. It's not Lionel Richie. It's actually somebody from.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
The Richie verse.
No. Like the Commanders or something like that. It's some kind of musical royalty, and he was kind of like a nepotism. But Adam was also a creepy, rapey little dude.
Yeah.
And so he was kind of kicked off the challenge for questionable behavior.
Wow.
You know, when it came to the opposite sex. Then he ended up becoming an intern for Diddy. Well, this is the same guy.
Jeez.
Yeah, that got his ass beat by CT, where CT said the famous quote, "I'll smash his head and eat it."
I love that you remember that.
Oh, you are
That's
just
a
an
good
encyclopedia of knowledge on the challenge. The
He
things
is.
he retains about the challenge
Yeah.
are
Don't
impressive.
you love how
That's
my
it. Don't ask me my daughter's birthday.
my ulterior motive to make this show a podcast for the challenge?
No, there's
I like
too
how I
many.
sneak it in. I'm like,
Yeah.
here we go,
I
baby.
like it. I like it.
Yeah.
There's too many podcasts on the challenge already.
Not any good ones. Not like
No,
this.
there's some good ones. You know, I
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen
but
to
you're
them
the
all.
expert, though.
Yeah.
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 I know.
No, he's a humble guy.
He's a humble. That's
Imposter
impressive.
syndrome.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, but I listen to all the podcasts as well. It is interesting, but I do like this season. I do like these rookies and this class.
I
So
hate Sydney. I hate her.
I fucking love her.
I hate her.
love
Wow,
her. that
polar
I
I
hate her.
hate her.
Yeah, because she's a an arrogant, cocky C word, right? And
yeah, see you
it's-
next Tuesday.
it's great.
He's like,
It's
just my style.
100%.
Yeah.
Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney. Look her up.
Yeah.
In fact, you could look up Sydney Bikini. So
Just from experience, he's going to tell you he's
Yeah,
done that
yeah.
search.
yeah, you could Google that.
Google browser history is just that's all it is.
Yeah. No, she's a lawyer. She's a public defender. And Los Angeles. So unfortunately for Sydney, and fortunately for you, it's probably one and done for her. She's not going to come back and do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the rumblings there is that she's over it, and she doesn't need to rely on that reality TV money because she has a career. Yeah, so which is unfortunate because I want the ones that are that good. Now, unfortunately, the thing with Sydney though is that she is a shit talker behind people's back, but a wuss when it comes to confrontation face to face. So you won't catch any scenes where she's like talking shit to someone to their face.
It's only in the interviews.
It's all confessionals, yeah. Which lost a lot of respect amongst the competitors there in the challenge verse.
Ah.
Yes. Mhm. You guys still with us?
I was going to say, we've lost all the streamers.
Viewers.
It is gone.
Well, you should watch it. I mean, it's still a decent show. They have been, there's rumblings amongst the cast that they keep cutting out all the good stuff that we want to see.
And they used to do an episode where it was the S you all missed.
Shit you
yeah.
wouldn't, yeah,
you
that-
missed.
that you didn't see. So there was a girl from Big Brother who's adorable as shit. She's a Mexican American. Her name is America. And she has a boyfriend that she started a relationship with on the show Big Brother, right? Big Brother's a big name. And so apparently in the Big Brother world, right, they're one of these Jack and Diane type of relationships that the Big Brother fans really root on. America got wasted one night and allegedly attempted to fuck half the house. CT being one of them, which he shot down because he's, currently in a relationship with a porn star on OnlyFans.
Yeah, he has good ethics.
Yeah.
Good for him.
But they didn't show her making out with D or, being like a hot mess. And that's usually challenge 101. It's like you get blackout drunk and you attempt to like dry hump the entire cast. That's an entire episode.
It is.
And then there's a challenge, you know? So
Yeah.
so we didn't get that. We didn't get a couple fights, and the fights were what it's all about. Because really, you know, the show, what's great at its core, it's a reality show that also has a competition and not the other way around. And they kind of want to make it a competition show that's also reality. And it's like, no. These guys are living together for 3 months.
How would you rate the challenge insofar as the hang time when it comes to cliffhanger moments? You know, when they got to like do that high cymbal rise sound when there's drama going on, they don't show the fight until like after the commercial, after 2 commercials.
Right.
Are they pretty good about showing everything?
I will say this: they are a master of, you know, kind of keeping the attention of the ADD and teases and do all that. So
It's
and
an
they've
art,
been
man.
doing that. It is an art, right? And it's something I've recognized from the show in the last like 7-8 years, you know, is where they do the cliffhangers, how many cliffhangers they have,
Counting them.
and do that. And in a way, it translates to what I do, right, in radio. And I don't execute it that well, but if I wanted to make like clips or something like that, same kind of premise, right? You kind of like give them the meat and potatoes right at first, and then you're like, oh, what's that? And then you kind of keep them on to get the payout, right?
Okay.
And that's what their editing has done for many years.
Yeah,
at a high level.
and the fights are always entertaining because it's like, okay, who's coming in? Oh, there's security, you know, and then you know that they were right on the edges because they knew it was about to happen.
Uh-huh.
You know, that whole Nani and Anissa thing.
Yeah, apparently that got super brutal.
Yeah.
Low blows. Ashley and
Yeah.
Anissa got some stuff that probably should have got Ashley fired.
Ashley's garbage.
She is garbage.
She is
I know.
trash.
I love her.
Oh, I hate her.
I know.
But see, here's the thing about the show, and I know we're going on and on, but just imagine a show. Imagine, if you will, a show.
Imagine a show.
That actually the two of us both love. I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
something.
Yeah, you're
How do
talking
you sell it for me?
several
That's why I'm saying
generational
the
gaps.
podcast.
Yeah. Here we go. There was the ageism. I don't know if you caught that.
It's very much an anomaly. It's an anomaly. Both of
Anomaly.
you.
Don't insult me while off camera. Get it, at least get in the good light.
gotta bounce.
Oh, is your meeting right now?
Yep.
All right,
Be
good
back,
seeing
though.
you.
I'll be back.
All right.
Hopefully it's not one of those Riff meetings where they're just like, thank you for your time.
Reading is fundamental.
It's a timeshare meeting.
Riff is like,
Oh.
yeah. I don't know what that stands for, though. RIF is
I don't know what a riff means.
really intriguing firing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But no, he's, you know, like he works on commission, so they never fire the salespeople, you know.
He's safe.
Yeah,
He's a keeper.
Look, underneath the umbrella and the island of this show, we've created what is an asset to the company. So for the time being, even in a world of uncertainty where no one's 100% safe, we are safer than most, which is good to know and good news. And it's weird too because we kind of turned the corner. I've been seeing this more. The reactions are more. You can't really tell on the stream. But, you know, there are a lot of people that listen to the show that aren't like streamers that are P1s, but I've been listening for years now. And it kind of turned the corner of like celebrity where people freak out. Like, so Kendall said she was at a bachelorette party the other day and people were freaking out that she's on the show.
Oh.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, so what's beef like, you know, and in person and everything else, which is odd to her, obviously, because she's like, he is what he is, right? A lot of people think it's a shtick or I got a radio
No.
voice and
Yeah.
stuff.
No.
Yeah, they don't realize realist on the radio is not just a tagline,
No,
right?
it's not.
But you know, so I get stories like that. Jeff, who's an OG streamer, he's got a number from well, not Jeff on the stream, but Jeff, who is it? Jeff on the stream? Yeah. Okay, Jeff. He says he has a friend, who well, a coworker that he works with, and he said that, you know, he listens to the show and he's like, oh yeah, I know Beef, you know, he's a buddy of mine because I see him at the Roadrunners games all the time. And he told me that he freaked out about it. You know, like the more and more times that's kind of happening. And I'm like, well, I have been on the air here in this market for 9 years now.
I know.
Right. And started to build up that kind of lore, which is, you know, what you kind of need to do to kind of get that Frank level kind of fandom.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
Takes time, man.
Yeah.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Hanging out here with film critic Herb Stratford and Mari on a Friday. It's the best way for us to end the week and wrap things up because Herb's here to kind of point out where we need to be what we need to see. You know, whether it's on
and
the
what
stream.
you need not to see.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Which
to
is
wait.
most important. What do we not see this week?
You know, there isn't anything really on the list this week to avoid. I will say that if you're a McConaughey fan, right?
Okay.
All right. The
Like
Lost
that.
Bus is on Apple TV. It was in theaters last week, just briefly, just to try and make it awards eligible.
Okay.
It's a true story. The campfire, you may remember, that was in Northern California, burned the town of Paradise.
Oh yeah, that just happened,
A
dude.
big deal, like 2 years ago or whatnot. And there was a documentary about this in the past, and there's been, of course, lots of films about wildfires recently. But this one is based on a true story where McConaughey plays sort of a screw-up bus driver. You know, he's got a kid, he's got an ex-wife, he's sort of an absentee dad. He's trying to figure his deal out, and he ends up on a bus with America Ferrera. And they're trying to get 22 kids away from this elementary to an evacuation point because, of course, this fire is out of control.
Right.
And so just imagine, I mean, you've seen the footage. It's terrifying, you know, that when you're driving down the road and both sides of the street are on fire, right?
Yeah.
And you know, the traffic jams and everything else. And so, but now just imagine if it's not just you, it's 22 kids.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, and these kids are freaking out. These kids all need new underwear because, I mean, they're just soiling themselves,
of course.
obviously.
Yeah.
And so it's a true story. This guy, McConaughey's character, is a hero. I mean, he really was. He saved these kids. It's very riveting. Paul Greengrass is the director who actually gave us some Jason Bourne movies and some other things. So he knows how to do action, even though the action is mainly, you know, sort of the stress level of McConaughey and America trying to figure out what to do,
and the fire itself, and you know, attempting to put out the fire, right?
Yeah,
That's kind of all
and, you know,
action.
like you go down a street, it's dead end, and there's, you know, you think you're meeting people there, they're not there, you can't get across the road, you know, you're like, okay, I'm going to go down this street. I mean, and then of course he's got his own problems because he's worried about his family getting evacuated, but he's been trusted for these kids. I just have all new respect for bus drivers because it is really,
they're not all like that, Herb.
No,
I mean,
know.
I come across many silly bus
Sketchy
driver
ones.
stories, especially from Florida. But California bus drivers, they know how to save lives. Which is awesome.
No, it's very good. This is one of those things, though, I will say, if you had a chance to see it on the big screen, it's probably a bigger, you know, just because it's so dramatic and it's so, you know, visually striking. I mean, you know, parts of the bus are melting. I mean, it's just, you can't imagine the heat.
Yeah,
you know?
there's no AC on those buses.
And they don't have any water. I mean, you know, they were at school. You know what I mean? It's not like they were going hiking or something. So yeah, this is 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. So if you want to stay home and watch something, this is pretty riveting stuff.
A couple takeaways from this. I mean, it's great to see McConaughey, you know, picking out these good feel-good projects in a way. You know, it is a feel-good project because those kids did survive. Spoiler alert, based on a true story.
Yeah.
Yes. So look how concerned
I'm like,
she
I
was.
literally want to cry because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, that's so sad.
Yeah, I know. 22 kids didn't die, and they didn't make a movie about it. But, you know, America Ferrera, you know, the girl who used to be in like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants and stuff was like the Ugly Betty.
Ugly Betty. Yep.
Yeah, you know, she like really is in her prime right now. She grew to be a beautiful woman. Yeah, absolutely. So it's great to see her, you know, in a role like this, and yeah, she's very charismatic, and you know, interesting to see what essentially is like, chaotic couple hours, and to be able to capture that in a cinematic form and be able to tell a great story to where it takes you on this like anxiety driven ride, but then it has a really good payoff.
Yeah. I mean, but it's interesting too, because I mean, I think everybody just sort of thinks, oh, that's the person that takes my kid to school. You know, you never really think about the fact that if something goes wrong, you really want the right person driving that bus.
Yes,
they need to pay school bus drivers a lot more, and they definitely need more like a content and character type of evaluations before that, because as parents, you don't even really care. You're just like, yeah, get on the bus with that meth head.
No.
I mean, I've had some pretty wonky school bus drivers in my day, you know, for sure. I'm sure there's good ones out there. Trust me, I'm not bagging on all bus drivers, but you know, if you're a school bus driver and you consider yourself one of the good ones, you know that you could think in your head a couple bad ones. You're like, well, actually, you know, Carl is kind of a POS. It shouldn't be driving that car. You know, like.
So let me tell you my bus story.
He's got one.
Growing up in Chicago, all right, and you know, of course, in Chicago it snows, you know, for like, you know, 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And so this is going to middle school. We would, and maybe I lived a couple miles away from the school, but so in the winter, you would get off the bus early, like a stop early, and you would do what's called skitching. You guys know what that is?
No.
Okay, so skitching is when you hang onto the back bumper of the bus.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Marty McFly style.
And you ride, in the snow, right?
Yeah.
Well, we had bus drivers where if they knew you and they were like, this isn't your stop. So they would be like, oh, I know what that kid's doing. So then he would be like swerving to try and throw you off into a snowbank.
Nah.
So yeah. Once that happened, you're like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. Things
Bus
are
driver's
different
gonna
back in
kill
the
me.
50s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Nah.
70s.
That's still pretty awesome, though.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, and they were definitely smoking the reefer. Those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those bus drivers for sure. So a different time. Yes. All right. We have more Beef Vegan Presents on the way. Music on the way as well from Rage Against the Machine. So you keep it right here on Rock 102.1 K for Mayor. Join us, youtube.com/Beef Vegan. Yeah, that's funny. That's super fun though too.
You did do some sketching?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was sketch
Yeah.
master.
Yeah, because you had you had those big heavy rubber boots, right? So you could actually do it.
Yeah.
Unless you hit a patch of ice.
Yeah.
And because the bus is going this way, you're not worried about, being run over.
Right. You
Right.
would just tumble.
Yeah. But it was not a safe thing. Like soon to be an Olympic sport, I believe. I think that's coming up next.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
As a mom, you're so concerned though. You're just thinking like, oh no, sketching, no sketching today, please.
No, I'm just thinking it's so foreign because growing up in Tucson, sketching is not in my vocabulary.
Yeah, but they have those shoes, rollies, or what do they call those shoes?
Rollies.
Heelys.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're not necessarily in style now, but
do you think people use Heelys to sketch in Tucson?
No,
or something?
I think they could have, and I'm pretty sure that there was a skater or two that definitely came up with the idea of being like, hey, I'm just gonna hitch a ride, boop, and Marty McFly style. I mean, he made famous in Back to the Future. It's basically the same thing, even though he's on a skateboard.
Yeah.
But with ice, you just hold on, and you love that. That's just that's.
I mean, the
that's
good thing
fun.
is if you're going to wipe out, you're going to wipe out into a snowbank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're not going to hit a tree. You're not going
cactus.
to,
Yeah,
So
look at
it's
him.
a
He
little-
survived, dude. He doesn't have any kind of misshapen limbs or nothing from sketching.
My kids don't take the bus.
Oh, fancy.
They bike.
Mine didn't either because TUSD doesn't have buses, and they're just like, you can take the city bus. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So concerned about that shit, man. Seriously, the city bus every day, but that's Tucson kids raised differently, man. They're tough. All right, as we get ready for our next segment, let me play a video clip from yesterday because there was so much great content that we didn't get to with Kendall and Yaz. So, I'm
On it, you got it.
here. Because we already did the show open, but then beyond that, we did this. Check this out. What is this? I don't even know. Huh. Kendall, I'm tired of reading this like the regular news here. It's so depressing. Where
Boring.
national news, local news, could you find anything that's kind of weird that you could report on for us?
There's some weird news going on out there.
All right, what do you got?
Well, did you know that men love to gaslight, even religious leaders?
I feel like you're projecting. Have I been gaslighting you this morning?
Maybe a little bit.
All right, my bad.
Just a smidge.
Well, I just said my bad, so
But
I guess we're good.
It's not just you, though.
Okay, good.
So there's a pastor in Honduras he's an evangelical pastor,
The worst.
caused major controversy after demanding a parishioner give his land to the church.
Ooh, this is a bold move
So-
from a pastor.
Yeah.
Is he saying it in the name of the Lord? The Lord says, give me all your stuff, bro.
Literally, that's what he's doing.
Ugh.
So he laid it on thick and said that God said, tell him that I give him my life, I gave him his children, and I can give him more than he has now if he gives me that land.
No. Don't trust it, man. It's a trap. This is interesting, too, because a lot of these evangelical pastors over the past week, because, a lot of people were on that kind of rapture bandwagon.
Mm.
The rapture's coming. Oh, I know. I talked to God. He said myself. He told me himself. It's definitely going to happen on Thursday. Thursday came. Thursday went. How do you face your church and your followers after that? Being like, oh.
Yeah.
Again, like when the goalpost moves, and if you're a follower in that situation, like how you don't just pack up and say, you know what, I'm out. This guy was wrong about the rapture. That was a pretty big one.
Mhm.
So I'm going to bounce. In this situation, it's kind of similar where the guy's going to throw out and say, God's telling me to give you, like it starts with the land. And then it moves on and he's like, God wants me to bang your wife too,
Right.
and it's like, Where does it stop?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue God. It's like how do you argue that?
Yeah, well, if you hear directly, it's easy to argue when it's telephone version of God.
Mhm.
Like so and so talked to God's cousin, and no, I'm not buying any of that.
God's cousin.
Yeah. So what happened in this situation? Did he give up the land? You don't know, huh?
I don't know.
Oh no, that means he probably gave up the land.
Yeah.
Sucker. Yeah, maybe I should start my own
I
church.
just hope it was worth it. I hope it was a good bargain.
No, it's not. All right, what else is happening in the world of weird?
Well, how would you feel if I came into the studio without wearing shoes? Every day, every time.
Okay, that would creep me out. Like if you had Circle K feet, you know what that is,
I
right?
have nice feet. I don't know what that is. No.
That's when the bottom of your feet are all black.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just walking around just dirty. Like dirty feet is kind of like it grosses me out.
Mhm.
It's a thing. So if you walked in barefoot every day,
Yeah.
honestly, if you had nice feet, I wouldn't mind, and I wouldn't look at the bottom of your feet. But if it was like Rico coming in barefoot, get out of here. I don't want
Oh.
to see your face again.
Oh God, what's Rico got going on? Well,
His feet probably don't look as good.
this is a new work trend that there are no shoes allowed, and that more and more companies are banning shoes at work.
Those companies sound like the beginning of cults, right?
Yeah,
A little bit.
Yeah, that's a weird dress code for a cult,
As somewhat of an employer, if
Mhm.
I said to you, our new dress code is for you to wear less, I mean, wouldn't that be a little bit of a red flag where you're like, maybe I want to work somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I would not appreciate that.
Right. Because they say it starts with no shoes and then it goes to no shirt.
Yeah.
Right?
And at this day and age, like bare feet, that's pretty much nudity to some.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Considering
People love it.
love it too
Yeah.
much so,
Yeah.
In fact, actually, when you're going to a public event where there potentially be a lot of creeps, you do
Mhm.
not want to wear open-toed sandals
Mhm.
at all, because they're going to be drooling all over your pretty little toes.
Apparently, this has been going on for years in Silicon Valley at tech companies because they say it makes it more relaxed and a collaborative environment.
Yeah, it smells like
for
feet
the
and ass.
sake of our creativity, yeah, we're just going to be barefoot in here from now on.
I knew this reeked of like a Steve Jobisms. Like,
Mm.
Steve Jobs did a lot of LSD back in the day and, has a little bit of the hippie essence or had a little bit of that hippie essence. So, yeah, that's what it is. They're like, yeah, man, show up to work, don't wear shoes, microdose, and then come up with a new program of AI that's going to kill us all. But do it in the comfort of, you're being able to sit crisscross applesauce.
I think it should be determined on your length of your toes if you're allowed to come in without shoes or not.
That's fair.
Because I like when they ascend in
Yes.
order, but when the toe next to your big toe is taller than your big toe,
Cover it up.
yeah.
Yeah. Wear snowshoes. Yeah. I get it. I agree. All right.
yeah.
Well, there you go. There's some weird news outside of the norm of what you're going to get in the mainstream media. All right. We're going to hit the reset. When we come back, we'll give you an opportunity to win tickets for Breaking Benjamin. So stick around. We'll play a little game with sore loser rules on Rock 102.1 KFMA.
Yeah.
All right. We're back on here. Let me show you something that, not all Florida stories are bad stories. So see this picture right here?
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah, this is a mom
Yeah, I love
who
her.
is holding a newborn, her newborn, while playing in a Mortal Kombat competition.
5 days old or something like that too.
Just right out the womb, dude. Right out the womb. And the thing is, she won. She won
did.
hardcore. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going viral after she won this Mortal Kombat tournament with a newborn baby on her lap. She's a 3D artist, goes by the name Legion online. And she joked that her kid was an excellent coach. And, her kid definitely did it. What's great, though, even more feel good about this story, I wanted to share it because her husband or baby daddy, Lagger or Goons, said context for the curious, in some cases for the stupid, right? Legion won this set. Baby's father, me, literally took this picture. We know what we're doing. We mutually agreed to come here. And the picture went viral. And then once the picture went viral, he commented, insane how this blew up already. My only plug is to consider donating to Nord if you can. Our older daughter, who was born last year, was taken from us by a rare condition. Called, I can't even pronounce this, but Kaspok Merit. And this organization supports research to save others from it. So what a great way to be like, hey, this picture went viral. Okay, that's cool. Well, while we have your attention, let's raise awareness for this organization. This is, such a rare disease. Not that many people know of it. And they obviously were victims of it. Their daughter was. So, that was a feel-good story out of Florida. I wanted to share that with you. So, yeah, that's very nice. And not all Florida's crazy. I mean, they're badass in Mortal Kombat. Breastfeeding while saying, finish him. Like, imagine being the guy next to me. Like, how am I losing to her right now? That suck.
I know, she's amazing.
Yeah. There was another story. I put together a piece I didn't get to. I called No Driver, No Hands, No Clue. Because police pulled over another driverless car here recently.
Oh.
Yeah, it was reported by several different sources, AP News being one of them. You'll see it right here. And so it raises the conversation debate about the legality of driverless cars, in general, right? Because, when police are pulling over a car because they're driving illegally, whether they're violating traffic laws, they can't necessarily punish someone who's not behind the wheel.
Yeah, what do they do?
Yeah, so that's what they have to try to figure out, right? The current law doesn't allow for issuing tickets to non-human drivers. The police joked on social media that our citation books don't have a box for a robot. But they instead reported the infraction to Waymo. Waymo called it a glitch and said, what you going to do? Now, this has been happening. We started seeing stories about this happening in San Francisco when they initially started rolling these out. And it's very crazy. I mean, what a great place to test driverless cars, because those streets, if you've ever been to San Francisco, insane to drive on.
Insane.
Yeah, getting a cab, you're like, I'm going to die every single time. It's like a roller coaster. There's no reason to go to like Pier 39. You get your joyride and your rush just from just going block to block. We've seen this. We've also seen like viral videos like up in Phoenix, because Waymos are very popular in Phoenix, of the self-driving car that just kept going in a circle. And the guy was stuck in it and he's calling for help. Like, hey, this won't stop driving in a circle. And he was getting nauseous from it. So he was held, captive. In fact, actually, I had a couple YouTube clips of driverless cars gone awry in Phoenix in particular. So this is happening a lot in Arizona, which is unfortunate. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Here, so on the podcast broadcast, we're talking about driverless cars.
Can you show me out at 7th Ave and Osborne?
Video of a police officer in Phoenix dealing with a Waymo driver, or just a Waymo, which is no driver, it's a driverless car. This is the body cam footage.
Yeah, it stopped. It's a 92 Adam Sam, or a 92 Adam 2 Sam Paul, and there's no driver. So your car here drove into oncoming lanes of traffic.
Okay. I will go ahead and take a look at that right now.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of a construction area, and it went into opposing lanes of traffic, which is real bad. No, can you show me out at 7th Ave and Osborne?
Yeah, so this is an issue, right? With these, and that's what we're talking about with these driverless cars, these self-driving cars. And obviously it has been a safety hazard. I strongly believe a friend of mine, a lead singer in Catastro, Andy Chavez, unfortunately lost his life because of self-driving feature in a Tesla and a construction zone. So, obviously these self-driving cars and features are great when there are no, things that are beyond the norm or what they're programmed to do. And it's to follow the lines. Then construction comes and then all the rules are out the window, right? There are so many videos that are popping up of these Waymo cars, which again, we don't have here in Tucson yet. But they rolled them out in Phoenix a while ago, and it is the norm. You see them everywhere up in Phoenix, right? Yeah. And you have to be aware of them, because not only do you have to be like a defensive driver for stupid humans, now you got to be a defensive driver for stupid robots who will not hit the brakes because of what they're programmed to do if any anomaly pops up. There's another YouTube video of a Waymo car driving the wrong way into traffic, and so it's terrifying. So, Congress right now currently are trying to figure out a way to make these self-driving companies like Waymo more liable for when they have these type of glitches, as they want to call it. But as of right now, there is no law and there is no liability. And these companies could right now just be like, yeah, sorry, there's a little problem there.
Yeah.
And since nobody's behind the wheel, there's nobody to hold accountable for. So it's an interesting situation. And, obviously people are getting fed up about it. So I don't know. Are you excited about Waymo's coming to Tucson, or because of all this negative press, would you be like, no, thank you?
I don't know. I've seen him a lot in Phoenix, and it always just it's sort of a curiosity. I just don't know if I would trust it.
I've ridden in one.
Have you?
Yes. And I will say this. I mean, not having to small talk a stranger or get into sketchy like Uber situations are great. It does take away from the gig economy though. And I know a lot of those people out there really rely on that. And I know a lot of Uber and Lyft drivers down here are like, please no, this is my fun. Fund. And then you're like, well, you could always DoorDash, but don't worry. Self-driving vehicles are coming for DoorDash too. So
what do they do? Just pop up and then like honk, and then the people have to like drop off the food.
They have robots. In fact, actually, there's a story of that I'll get to on the stream here about how they're vandalizing these DoorDash robots. So, humans are fighting against the robot rise. And
nice.
Yeah, we'll talk about that and wrap things up after these words. So stick around. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA, or join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Yeah, I'd have to find that piece where it was I put together on the show sheet. Fridays are so fun because I'm just like, what did I get to here? Boom, boom, boom. I didn't get to this, didn't get to that, but I did see, where is this? Is it survey set or headlines? I think it's in headlines. I had some science stuff too. But yeah, people are messing with these self-drive. We have these robots on U of A campus.
Yeah.
That deliver food.
Yeah, we follow
ones.
those guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're actually really good. I've watched them a lot.
They're
and
so cute.
they're adorable, and they're also pretty safe. I will say
my kids run around it and like it stops and then it goes and
I'd
they
be so
follow it.
pissed if I order food and I'm like, hey, you're late because these kids are playing with you.
Mari's kids were messing with it.
Yeah. Come
Don't
on.
mess with it, they follow it.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, and that's how they get you. They're smart enough to make it adorable at first, so you're not aghast and offended by it. You're like, I don't want robots delivering food. That's that's not humane. It looks like Wall-E.
Oh yeah, when it went by, my wife and I the other day, we were on campus for something, and it made little heart eyes. It's just like,
See, they're doing that on purpose
Yeah.
to like lower your defenses, dude. Don't fall for it.
And then it murders you.
Yeah. It's a trap, man. It's a trap. It's so crazy. All right. Well, let's see. There's another thing that was revealed. This is where we're de-evolving as a society, right? So the robots are one thing. Let's see. Who is it? Wendy's just launched chicken tenders, right? So they added chicken tenders to the menu. But in order to appease the kids and market to a certain generation, they don't call them chicken tenders. Guess what they call them?
Chicken tendies.
Tendies.
Nice.
See, you do like that.
I love tendies.
That's a slang. Yeah, so they're tendies now. You can thank Dominic Mysterio and other celebrities for coining that phrase and making it popular. And so when you go to Wendy's and you want to order like a 3-year-old. And they'll know exactly what you're saying. I want tendies, a little frosty, a bacon cheeseburger.
It does go with Frosty so well. Tendy, Frosty.
Oh, and Wendy. Yeah. Wendy's tendies. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, at least it rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. When was the last time you ordered anything at Wendy's? Do you ever do the Wendy's?
Sometimes when we drive to LA, we stop at the border and go to that Wendy's there.
Let's blind rank with Herb Stratford.
Yeah, I'm curious. Do you
All
even eat fast food that often?
No,
coffee.
Because they don't serve caviar at fast food restaurants. He's a fancy guy. But Herb Stratford, I want you to blind rank these 5 fast food restaurants.
Right.
Okay, so 1 through 5. All right, so we'll start off with Wendy's. Where does that rank 1 through 5?
3.
3. You're putting smack dab in the middle. Okay, In-N-Out.
4.
Okay.
Because I don't eat beef, and so there's not a lot there for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's animal fries.
Yeah,
you be an animal, eat the beef, dude. I mean, all these these are all going to be burger chains.
I know.
Burger King.
I'm gonna have to.
Veggie burger.
2.
Ew. You're gross, Herb Stratford.
I said 2 too, though. I like.
You said 2 too.
did.
Mm-hmm. All right. Del Taco.
That's a 5 for me. I just don't even.
Down at the bottom.
Yeah.
All right, number one's McDonald's.
Had McDonald's fries earlier this week.
Hey.
Yeah.
This is how he gets preserved, right? He eats all these preservatives. I make fun of him. He's old, but really, he's 300 years old. He's a vampire who's been living off of the lifeline of French fries.
And really, it's only really the French fries at McDonald's. I don't eat anything else there, but they're just really good.
I do the hash browns.
And I know they're, well, actually, and I'll have an egg McMuffin sometimes. But I do know that the French fries, like I've read all the stuff about how they're like chemically treated and all this stuff, but they're just really good.
I know those
so
chemicals.
good.
And I love fries.
Yeah, they're basically made of dopamine. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Dopamine and preservatives. It's all chemical, no potato.
Yeah.
But I'm right there with you. And this is how I know I'm getting old too, because I can like agree with Herb. Where I'm like, well, those egg muffins and hash browns and the potatoes, everything else is garbage. No, my doctor would not approve. But I'll do an egg muffin, 150 calories.
Yeah.
No, that's my life, dude. On the weekend, dude, I'll stop. I get my egg muffins and hash browns, but I do the sausage egg muffins, no sausage, because I'm cheap, right? And so then I'm just basically getting eggs, and I throw half the English muffin away, right? And so basically it's just one full sandwich, 2 eggs, 2 slices of cheese, and then I get a hash brown, put it in the middle, Big Mac style.
Wow.
And can you believe I'm still technically fat? It's crazy. It's insane.
Not clinically obese. That's all that matters.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just teetering on it. Onset diabetes, but not full blown. Always have a great time with you guys. Thanks for coming in. Just to recap with all the movie releases that are being out this week. You probably want to check out The Smashing Machine. That's going to be a movie that you're going to see The Rock get lost in a role in. But you're going to want to watch anime with Anemone. Anemone with captions, closed captions. So you might want to wait till that's on a streaming service. And if you want a feel-good horror movie, Good Boy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the movie that you're going to want to check out. Herb Stratford, always a pleasure. And you have any interviews coming up on your YouTube channel?
Yes, I'm interviewing. We're going to do Charlie Hunnam for the Monster series.
Calm down, Mari.
About Ed Gein. And then we're doing, I'm doing the director of the new 5-part Martin Scorsese documentary called Mr. Scorsese. So those are the next 2 that are coming up.
All right, you get a chance, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page Arts and Culture Guy. You're going to be able to see those interviews in its entirety. While you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com/beefvegan for our podcast broadcast. That's all the time we have for the show today. Looking forward to a fantastic weekend and Dan Soder tonight at the Rialto Theater. We hope you guys go out and enjoy yourself, maybe even go to Nightfall and get some scares in. Till then, we got more great KFMA music on the way. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. Stuck the landing, right? What's the beef tip? I got no beef tip.
Well, enjoy yourself.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You've been
mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.
Babuski.